What's up, Digi-Destins? This is Kyle D, better known as Ridemyavatar, and today we're going to be going over AncientGreymon. This deck comes really powerful in EX because of the analog youth, allowing it once it dies and pops to bring it back to your turn after it passes is huge for us, because that means you get to extend your plays, play in a Digitama egg after you promoted this up, and we kind of just get another full-on stack builder, which is huge for us. So guys, let's dive right into the video and let's see what I got for you. So guys, here's the list. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's really powerful. This deck will blow people away because they're not ready for it. It can counteract the security control heavy meta you are facing. Because of dedicated plan, this card is such an over MVP in this format, it's not even funny. So let's go over it. First off, we're playing Digimon. You can play any two Digimon that gives an extra power in some sort, but Digimon has at least a consistency of actually going off because of Nerf 5 more in your opponent's trash. This Digimon gets plus 1000 DP, just consistent power. Next, we do have when attacking for the Demi-Mera. When this Digimon attacks a player, it gets 1000 DP. That's huge for us. That's just an extra power boost, makes us 14, makes us a little beefier, and then we could hit for 17 because of the added Atomic Inferno power-ups. Just getting us there for power is what we're in mind for goal. Next, we have Flamemon. Flamemon is on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon with hybrid in its name. You can't grab AncientGreymon because he's not a hybrid, but or 1 red tamer among them. So if you hit the tie, the Marcus, or tie, you will have at least a target to grab. Next, you do have Agumon. So reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon with Greymon in its name other than Dura, Burning, or Dexadura Greymon, and 1 Digimon card with Omnimon in its name. So you have this as a target, this as a target, this as a target. So nope, not a target. Sorry, Burning Greymon is not a target. I just read that and I'm an idiot. So next, we do play Flamemon. Flamemon's really good because while this Digimon has hybrid and 10 Ancient Warrior in its form, it gains piercing. This is what the deck needed. I'm not lying. This card is what the deck needed all along. Being able to give piercing to your AncientGreymon is huge because he checks for every hybrid in its evolutionary sources. So Flamemon plus an Agunimon that warped, that's 3 security checks, 1 swing. That's huge, especially if you Digivolve into Omnimon after doing that. Even though you will lose your Omnimon, you can clear out the rest because the inheritable crit is for the turn. That's huge, boys and girls. So, and it'll have piercing, so if they try to block that on top of it, they're not going to block it. Next, you do have Agumon. I like this Agumon. So when this Digimon attacks a player, it gains plus 2000 DP. Very little will you actually just swing into an opponent's Digimon unless you have to. So don't worry about the extra power there. We just want to make sure we hit magic numbers when we swing into security. Next, Agunimon's in here to be able to warp on your tamers, and it's a great evolutionary source for the AncientGreymon. We have Burning Greymon. Is you may Digivolve this Digimon from your hand into one of your red tamers as if the tamer is a level 3, so it'll cost you 3 to Digivolve, but it's huge. And then your turn, this Digimon gets plus 3000 DP, becomes a 9k beater, just swings in and hits hard. Next, you have Agunimon. So when this Digimon Digivolves into an AncientGreymon in your hand, when attacking, this Digimon can Digivolve into an AncientGreymon in your hand for a memory cost 2, ignoring its Digi-Evolution requirements. If it does, delete this Digimon at the end of turn. So, but what's really nice is when Digivolving this Digimon into an AncientGreymon, this is in your hand, reduce the Digi-Evolution cost by 2. So if you're in all Digimon, you have security plus 1, but it's at least be able to Digivolve into AncientGreymon, giving you more hybrid checks than your opponent wants you to have. So while this Digimon Digivolves, Digi-Evolution cards include a Digimon with hybrid in its form or a red tamer. This Digimon gets plus 4000 DP. Comes 11k beat stick with extra security checks. Really good. AncientGreymon is the backbone of this deck. for each Digimon in this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards with Greymon in its name, or hybrid in its form, this Digimon gets security +1. On deletion, you may play one red level 4 or lower Digimon card with hybrid in its form from your hand without paying its memory cost. So you get to play an Agumon down or this Agumon down right away, which is huge because it's when attacking, which means you get at least a stall turn. You don't have to instantly warp it like the AncientGreymon, which you always held it back a little bit because you had to instantly do it. So it's all about timing. You had to have 3 memory. This one can be a little more lax and lenient. Next, Omnimon, for that clear out blitz attack, getting that final hit in that you might need to win the game. Then dedicated plan, shut off security control completely. You do not want them activating their security. Dedicated plan just says, nah brah, you ain't doing it in here. Next, Atomic Inferno. One of your Digimon with hybrid in its form gets plus 3000 DP and security +1. And then your turn, when this Digimon is blocked, gain 3 memory for the turn. Huge. That means if they block with our Piercer, because they need to stop it, congratulations, they will gain you 3 memory, and that's huge for us. And especially if you can stack this up, it's more and more and more and more and more and more and more effects. And then what's really nice, it has all your Digimon gain security +1. This Digimon checks 1 additional checks until the end of your next turn, which is huge. Atomic Inferno is nasty when it gets popped off on security, because now your little guys get massive swings going 1, 2, 3, boom, 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 and call it a day. Next, we have Red Memory Booster. So reveal the top 4 cards to your deck, add one red Digimon card from among them to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order, then place this card into battle area. Delay, gain 2 memory. So that's really huge. Getting that extra memory means we can go into Agumon pretty fairly and go into AncientGreymon pretty easily. That is huge for us, and it lets us be able to combo in Atomic Inferno. So what's really nice is if you have the 3 memory to do this, you go promote the Agumon from raising, this Agumon up, then you slam down Atomic Inferno, as many as you have, so this thing gets more beefy and more powerful. Then you Digivolve into AncientGreymon, so that as long as it's at 0, you'll pass it to turn for 2. Or if you had the red memory booster, you pop it, you go to 0. Now this thing has Oonga Boonga numbers, just because 13, this becomes 16, this becomes 19, as many as you keep bringing this up. And then it gains extra security check because it only has to stay the Agumon for the activation of the Atomic Inferno. So that's how that works. And it gains all that security checks, 1 swing, a boom, and then warp into Omnimon. And then they're done. There's nothing they can do because this thing's going to hit like a truck. You could do this with minimum resources too. So 1, 2, it gets 3. Atomic Inferno twice, 1 dedicated plan, and 1 red memory booster. Pop that, boom. It's still your turn, as long as you can keep it your turn. You swing in with AncientGreymon, clear out every security your opponent has, and then you warp into Omnimon, winning the game. That is how this deck works. It's just so nasty when this combo goes off. Yes, all pieces need to fall into place, but more often than not, you will have that, because you only need 2 Atomic Infernos, 1 dedicated plan, and 1 red memory booster to really get this ball rolling. Then you have Atomic Blaster. Choose any number of your opponent's Digimon whose total DP is up to 8,000. Delete them. This allows you to hit multiple Digimon all at once, which is huge. Next, you have Tai Kamiya. This one is if you go up the normal ride chain and get AncientGreymon even bigger, you could do that, and then Tai gives an extra security check, and then you don't have to worry about Atomic Inferno. You just do 1 dedicated plan with 1 Tai on a full evolve stack. That clears out a whole security stack, and your opponent really doesn't have anything to do with it because it's every Greymon in its evolutionary source or hybrid. So this is 1, 2, 3, 3. So he's a 4 base. Tai brings him to 5, and then dedicated plan guarantees death. Next, Marcus is in here to gain us a memory, and just another evolution target for Agumon. Same with Tai. This ties in here to give us an extra 1000 DP, but to be a target for the Agumon evolution. And then we have Analog Youth. This card is what makes this deck a lot more consistent and a lot more powerful. Get your full play set of this and sit on it. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card among them to your hand, trash the remaining cards. When one of your other level 5 or higher Digimon with Digi-Evolution cards is deleted, you may suspend this tamer. If you do, gain 1 memory, then hatch 1 Digi-Egg in raising. So as long as you have it empty. That's huge. Analog Youth, congratulations. You're a great asset to this deck. You make the deck go burr. So guys, remember, enjoy the deck list. Next, let's talk about some minor additions you can add, definitely. Next, if you want, put Bonds of Bravery in. And go with a Tai Bonds of Bravery style build. I have one similar on my list. It does the same thing. It just more power, a little more board control-y, as I would call it. Because again, if you Digivolve on top of it, the extra securities stay. They don't just disappear for the turn, so Bonds of Bravery can check multiple securities one go. If you want, if you feel like you need to hit more Tamers, put this Agumon in. So when attacking, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Tamer card or 1 Digimon card with an Agumon and it's among them to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck. You don't care about the Agumon searching, you care about hitting the Tamer. If you really need that Tamer, go for it, dig for it. Next, this Agumon, if you feel like you need to swing into opponent's Digimon more often than not, put this Agumon in. That's my recommendation. Next, you do have Agumon. No, I already did that one. You have Gaia Force. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon. That's a great option if you feel like you need to just blow things up more. GeoGreymon's a great option. If you're going for the Agumon route, you want more targets. Then you have Greymon being in this deck going like, hey bro, I'm going to take out 2 security. If you play a little more on the Agumon line, you can definitely play this to help rush more damage in. Guillemon's a great drawer. When it attacks, trigger draw 1. If he dies, he dies. If he survives, he survives. Congratulations, you get an extra swing with him to draw. Then you get Tai Kamiya being able to warp into the Bonds of Bravery, aka Bonds of Courage. Next, you have this Agumon to combo in with the Bonds of Courage, Bravery. So, all great cards. And then Nokia being Nokia is this, if you feel like you want to reduce the cost of the warp of AncientGreymon, do this. When digivolving one of your Digimon into a Digimon from your hand with Garurumon, Omnimon, or Greymon, besides Duro Greymon, Burning Greymon, or Dexadura in its name, you may suspend this tamer, reduce the memory cost by 1. So, again, really powerful stuff. I think this is what you want to see, and I think it's pretty decently well-rounded. I think this is a good call. I think you guys would enjoy the list. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!